This is a bit of a video editorial. The subject is it's sort of the Patterson-Gimlin film, but also a little bit about why I feel that the PG film should not be the end-all be-all of Sasquatch research. And there are, of course, Sasquatch researchers who feel the same way. They feel that the Patterson-Gimlin film is not the end-all be-all. I certainly feel that way. I think the film is real, yes. I think the Patterson-Gimlin film is real, but it's only my opinion. Just like there are others who offer their opinions on the Patterson-Gimlin film and say, yes, they think it's real. But, and I've said this for several years now, even if the Patterson-Gimlin film is proven to be a hoax, that does not mean there's no Sasquatch. It does not invalidate the things that I have seen that I saw in 1984 and 1998. It does not invalidate those things. It does not invalidate all the sightings that have occurred all over the United States and indeed all over the world of hairy bipeds. I think that those who say, well, if the Patterson-Gimlin film is a hoax and there's no Bigfoot, no, that's not true. Because if you are a witness and you have actually seen a Sasquatch, then it does not invalidate what you saw if that film turns out to be a hoax. Now, I mean, I've been kind of following the discussions about the PG film on the Bigfoot forums, and I tend not to participate in those discussions. I may read about them, but and I find Kitakazi's posts interesting. I personally don't think he's going to make much of a difference to those who are of the opinion that the PG film is real. I'm more open-minded about it. You know, if he can produce good evidence, if he can get a confession, if Gimlin confesses and the suit is found and it actually matches what's in the film, then I'll say, hey, it's a hoax, and we'll just move on from there, and we'll just put that piece of evidence in the receptacle, in the waste receptacle, and we'll just move on to other pieces of evidence. I mean, personally, yes, I think the film is real, but that doesn't mean that I would get all upset if it turned out to be a hoax, because again, it does not invalidate my encounters. It does not invalidate what I have seen. And for those who have had sightings, I don't think it should invalidate what they saw. If someone has had a sighting, then they should feel like, hey, I had a sighting. Even if one case turns out to be a hoax, that does not mean that I didn't see a Sasquatch. Way I look at it, I still think I think the film is real, but it won't upset me if it's not. Now, I mean, I'm still at that 100% that I think the film. Well, no, wait a minute. Excuse me. No, I'd say about 95%. 95% that the film is real, with that 5% margin of error. That there's a possibility that there could have been some shenanigans and some chicanery and things of that nature. But again, even if the film turns out to be a hoax, that doesn't mean there's no Sasquatch. And I hope that people will realize that. And personally, I don't really participate in discussions about the film anymore, because it's over 40 years old, and there may be those who say, well, it's proof of Sasquatch, and that's fine. You know, we may indeed have had the proof since 1967. But I'm open-minded enough to say that if it turns out to be a hoax, you know, it won't bother me all that much. because of what I have seen. The whole deal is there are those who will get upset, and there'll be a great deal of consternation within the Bigfoot community over the film being a hoax and things of that nature. But there'll be those who won't be too bothered by it, especially those who have had sightings and encounters. Now, just as a hypothetical, I'm just throwing this out there as a hypothetical. I'm not putting any validity in this. This is just a hypothetical. Let's just suppose, for the sake of argument, that Hieronymus is telling the truth. Let's just suppose that the film is a hoax. Let's suppose that Bob Gimlin, who's been in this position for 43 years, of where he cannot reveal at this time his part in a hoax, he can't reveal it as a hoax. That he's in that position, that he's told this. This is hypothetical. Let's just. I want to make sure that y'all understand this is hypothetical. Let's just say he's been living with a lie for 43 years, and he's done it to protect Roger. And he did it because he promised Roger he would keep quiet about it. Well, if he were to come out and confess to a hoax, what would it do to the Bigfoot community? I mean, how would people react? But to some, just his confession wouldn't be enough. They need the suit as well. Let's say that Gimlin knows where the suit is. Let's say that that he says, yeah, I know where the suit is, and I can take you to where it is. I can show you the suit. They match the suit up. They run it. They compare it to the Patterson-Gimlin film. Suit turns out to be a match. There's your slam dunk case. It's a hoax. I mean, how would the Bigfoot community react? And I'm interested in hearing your opinions, by the way, YouTube, and especially you Bigfooters that are on YouTube. I'm interested in hearing your opinions, because this, as I said, this is a hypothetical. This is a hypothetical. I'm not putting any validity into this. It's a hypothetical. How do you think? What do you think? Do you think that, I mean, how would you react if you found out the Patterson-Gimlin film was a hoax? And that Gimlin was lying all these years, and that there was a suit, and the suit is located, and it's matched up to the PG film, and it turns out to be a match. I've already told you how I would feel. I mean, I would feel pretty betrayed, but at the same time, that wouldn't lessen. I don't think it would lessen my friendship with Bob Gimlin, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because all of us lie. We all lie about something. And, Gimlin, this is going to be kind of controversial, but Gimlin is almost sometimes held up as almost like a saint. And he's just a man. He's just a man just like you or I. Excuse me. He puts his pants on one leg at a time just like we do. I've met the man 3 times, and I never had that starstruck feeling around him. And I'm not saying that friends of his have that starstruck feeling when they're around him. They like him as a person. They like him as a friend. They don't look at him as a celebrity. I don't look at Bob Gimlin as a celebrity. I don't look at him as a celebrity. I look at him as just Bob. He's just Bob. And he's a humble guy. Personally, yes, I believe him. I believe Bob Gimlin. But I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to invalidate Bob Gimlin. I'm not trying to say that he's a liar. This is just playing devil's advocate. That's all I'm doing. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not calling Gimlin a liar or anything like that. This is just plain devil's advocate. And I hope that people will realize that. I recall that Daniel Perez did that a few years ago. He played devil's advocate with the Patterson-Gimlin film for the International Bigfoot Society, or then the Western Bigfoot Society. He played devil's advocate, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just playing devil's advocate. And I'm interested in hearing the Sasquatch community's reactions. I really am, and I hope that I'll get some reactions. I'm sure I will. And I hope that people understand that I'm only throwing this out as a hypothetical. I'm not calling Gimlin a liar, and I'm not saying the film is a hoax. I'm not saying that. I mean, and I hope people will understand. I'm sure they will. I'm sure people will understand that I'm not coming out and saying the film is a hoax, because I'm not. But anyway, I just hope that people will realize that we don't need to canonize this film and hold it up as the great god of Bigfoot. It's just a film, nothing more, nothing less. It's a film of a Sasquatch, at least I think it is. But to hold it up as some sort of a sacred object, I think is going a little far. Personally, I don't get all upset if somebody says the film is a hoax anymore. I don't get all bent out of shape over it, because it's just not worth fighting over. There's a lot better things to fight over than some 40-something-year-old film. There's a lot better things to fight over. That's why I don't get all upset and bent out of shape if somebody says, "Well, that film's a hoax." I've even allowed comments from people here on my YouTube channel of people who think the film is a hoax. I have not banned one single person. I have not refused anybody's comments that thought the film was a hoax. This one fellow, Seymour Breast, has consistently said the film is a hoax. I still allow his comments. You know, if I really wanted to, I could disallow his comments, but I'm not going to do that. He has the right to his opinion. People have the right to their opinions when it comes to this film. Heck, they even have the right to their opinions when it comes to Sasquatch as a whole. If somebody wants to post under my videos that Bigfoot is nothing but a big pile of crap, and it's nothing, there's nothing there, there's nothing to it, fine. I'll allow those comments too. But I know what I've seen. I know what I saw. I know what I have seen. You know, I'm not BSing here and trying to fool people and pull the wool over anybody's eyes. But anyway, I am interested in your comments, folks. Even you, Seymour Breast. I am interested in your comments on this video. Thanks, and y'all have a good day.